Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie.
And today, Jess has compilated some shorts for me.
A handful of TikToks via TikTok. Yeah. Short sounds like YouTube. These are TikToks.
Ticky.
I'm not one of them. Hi, I'm Ariel. I'm a lesbian, and I don't think gender is a social construct. I don't think cis straight white men are evil. I don't believe that genital preferences are transphobic or that there are 97 genders. I don't think that male sex offenders belong in women's prisons. I don't think it's normal for people to be praised for walking around with shirts that say kill TERFs. I don't think like these people, and I no longer want to be associated with them. I've reached peak LGBT. This is my coming out video. Never in my life have I been more canceled, tortured, tormented, harassed than by members of my own community. Never have I witnessed literal mentally ill individuals who are latching themselves onto the LGBT community without actually being LGBT for the sake of oppression points, external validation, and sympathy. Never have I seen such disrespect from younger LGBT people to the older lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender advocates who have been paving the way for us for longer than we've all been alive. Never have I seen people that use the word bigot so frequently and not see the hypocrisy and irony in themselves saying it. Some of you have noticed this change coming onto my channel within the past 2 years, as I've gotten what some people would say more conservative. And yeah, I have, haven't I? Since the queer movement right now is obsessed with all these different labels, and I am a fan of labels, I wanted to share a new label of mine with you. I'm coming out. I am officially leaving the left. When it's gotten to the point where I can no longer even list LGBT or women empowerment in my Instagram and Twitter bios without people thinking I'm part of this ridiculously woke cult, when we have rules and a pecking order of who is able to speak and for how long, even about their own bodies and experiences, when we have children drag queens and think it's okay for them to perform sexually for adults, when we praise news stories like this that make absolutely no sense and do nothing for our movement or for people understanding us, when this person is praised by LGBT organizations and deemed a speaker for lesbians, and people say that straight black men are the white men of black people, and I know what they mean. I no longer wish to be a part of this. The LGBT community has become a safe haven for the mentally unstable who are not seeking help and who also aren't, in any sense of the word, queer. We've become so obsessed with validating everybody. How did we not see this coming? This community has become so ridiculously intolerant while preaching love that for the first time in a decade, LGBT acceptance is down. Anyone who goes against the grain and thinks for themselves is immediately outcast.
I would like to come out as a biological female that cannot be impersonated by trans women.
I don't think you can
What?
stop impersonations like that. I don't think that you can just... I think if it was that easy, then we wouldn't have this debate right now.
Listen, I'm coming out as a biological woman
She's coming.
that trans women can't identify as.
She's coming. She's coming out. When I saw this, I was like, this is the best summarization possible for exactly the issues that we're facing on our channel and like tackling and talking about. The people in these videos, the people in some of these TikToks that we've watched, they're mentally unwell. And we are letting them decide so many big things in our country and how we talk to other people and interact with other people. If you comply to crazy, you enable crazy. That's why the world's so weird these days.
Trans women have what they call gender dysphoria, which is a mental illness. Biological women don't want mentally ill men who say they're women coming into the female bathroom and locker room. Do you see what I'm saying?
And determining
Mentally
things.
ill people, mentally ill men, we don't want that.
And representing women and determining things for women and speaking as if we don't have our own unique perspective.
The alphabet mafia, they like to scream. They like to say that when we say that we don't believe trans women are biological women, they say that when we say that, our opinion, it's violence. And they get very offended, and they get very hostile, and they get very loud, and they scream.
You saw.
And then they throw insults at us.
You saw.
But the difference is, the middle and the right, when they throw those insults at us, it doesn't bother us. It doesn't offend us. We're not easily offended. We're not easily butthurt about silly things that people say. So that's the big difference between the far left and everyone else. They're fighting a losing battle, and they don't even see it, which I'm surprised they haven't The pendulum hasn't swung the other way yet.
It's going
But I
to.
think
It
once they
is.
graduate college, that's going to happen. Once they
It's
get into the
starting.
real world and they realize that people won't bow down to them screaming. Because the one thing that adults won't do is respect you when you're screaming at them and demanding respect.
Well, they're trying to gain attention. It doesn't matter if you're tweeting something, if you're going to a campus and screaming, they're all trying to get attention. If you're posting your top surgery, things like that. If you're telling people how to tuck, if you're doing your days of girlhood, days of boyhood, you're doing it for attention. You're not validating yourself through that because you would have gone through that experience personally and then began maybe to talk about it. Especially with something as big as gender or sexual identity is something I went through. You don't just come out and say,
Hey everybody, I've been thinking a lot, and chicks are kind of cool. Maybe one day I think I might like them.
like, no. I had a whole bit of soul searching before I was like, I'm really swinging that way. And so to sit there and just broadcast it, you want attention. You want to gain so much clout. And I don't know why they're that way, but I guarantee you it's swinging the other way right now.
And they're waking up at noon. They're having their soy latte from Starbucks. They're bitching, texting, tweeting, posting TikToks, watching TikToks for hours, making a lot of noise without saying a damn thing. Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound like a happy life.
It's not. They're not happy people. They're not. How can you be happy and be like
So why don't you join the happy peppy people and get a great big bottle of Vitamin Vitamin? Vitamin Vitamin has vegetables and minerals.
I know it's over. Check out my cold shoulder.
If I watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos on people doing heroin and I start doing heroin, can I blame YouTube for that? No. This is the victim mentality once again, rearing its ugly head. This lad lady is blaming her
mental illness
and unhappiness on other people.
Specifically.
That's easy to do. It's much easier to just blame other people than actually change. Why is that such a bad thing to just admit you're wrong or admit that maybe it's you? I've never heard these people ever take accountability. It's always you. You did this to me.
What's the
because
question?
I decided to watch your content.
Nobody forced you to watch these videos.
It's called free will.
Especially on YouTube. It's not like it's broadcasting on your television.
Oh, free will, you have it. And you can't blame anyone else.
The reason I pulled this one specifically is because did you listen to the song in the background? Yeah, talk about how that exactly explains every single one of them. The song that they're playing, don't know it.
Yeah.
But the lyrics, dude. And they're like, how dare you? I wanted to be like you want. I looked up to you. I wanted to do just what you did. And now that you're swaying from my beliefs, I can't. I'm triggered. I can't even do this anymore.
Or you could just have respect that they have their own mind. You could just respect that they have their own mind and own opinion and they don't follow the flock. And
You know how many people I've heard talk and I'm like, man, that was disappointing. And you know what I do? I move on with my day. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of people I like and I don't agree with half of the shit that they say.
yeah, you've expressed it many times that you don't
Many
necessarily.
times.
Well, I think Joe Rogan's an exception to that. But like Jordan Peterson, for example.
Yeah, he talks a lot about Pinocchio and the Bible.
But you still love Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah, he helped me through a lot.
And you don't agree with him. But you hear some things he says and you're like, eh.
Yeah, because
Now, if he
I
were-
like him.
If he were to come out, though, if he were to come out on some big thing that you were against,
Like what?
let's say something religious, just purely like the J.K. Rowling thing, okay? He said something that you just don't agree with. It's something that kind of really, like, not my thing.
Why wouldn't I watch his stuff?
Well, he said something, that's what I mean. Like, you would have to make this decision because he
But
said
that's not a
something.
decision that I would make. I
Well,
still
there you
listen to
go.
Michael Jackson even though I believe what he did.
And why do you do that, though?
Because he's dead.
Jordan Peterson's alive, though. So. Because he died.
Because the art isn't the person. The art came from the person, but the art didn't do the bad things. So the art brings positive, even though it came from a bad person.
I follow.
Yeah. So that's why.
I get it. Well, you know about Melanie Martinez, for example? Have you ever heard about that one?
I have heard of this singer.
Yes. So I don't know the story super close. Mm-hmm. But it came out that there were allegations that she either like essayed or something along those lines, someone she was friends with, and there was a whole bunch of stuff online about how everyone was boycotting her music and not listening anymore. And that's the kind of situation where you would stop. Is what happens. This is cancel culture. Why would you stop watching? Cancel culture.
Are you asking me personally?
No, I'm saying, like, in what sense would that ever cause you to be like, I'm so triggered? Because one person you used to watch said something?
Well, then I would just have to accept that my life would be completely miserable forever because I'm thriving off of being miserable.
Yeah, you gotta be like searching to be mad at that point.
In which case, I would question if they got high off of getting triggered.
Yeah, like it's like a euphoric thing for them. Like they get that like adrenaline rush.
Yeah, so in a way, it is an addiction.
I think it's also obsession for a lot of them. Like they like I said, that song, I wanted to be just like you. I think a lot of these people really just want to be famous.
But for people preaching about love and tolerance, then why do they yell so much and make so much noise and get all nasty and stuff and talk over people?
Because no one paid attention to them when they were kids. So they just handed them an iPad or put them on a computer. So the only way they got attention was by causing a ruckus. And so now, when they want attention, they scream, just like when they were kids.
This is for educational purposes only. No hate to this content creator, but there are just some things that you factually got wrong, like almost literally all of it. So I'd like to clear up and clear my own name.
Now this, my fine, beautiful people, is a fine specimen.
Yeah, you are a pretty woman. So what? Sorry, you found my live at, what, 3 in the morning? Why don't I put up some good pictures of myself that look more femme if that's what you're going on about, because apparently it's all about outward appearance.
I, as a woman, because, right? When I ask you or show you this, would you want somebody, as this individual, to tell you, oh, you don't know what a woman is like? Oh.
Correct, I've never invalidated any cis woman by saying you don't know what a woman is like. All I said is that trans women also get periods, they also lactate, and that their body changes not only externally, but internally. So, false.
Hold on. Hold on.
Every single time you show me, you like to exclude that I have breasts by making sure your face is just covering enough.
Notice how this woman, this almost very obviously lesbian, has no cleavage showing. And she's having this conversation. Has nothing to do with your breasts.
So that individual identifies as a trans gay lesbian.
1. I identify as trans woman, non-binary, and or demigirl, which I've explained multiple times and I know you were there to hear, so now at this point you're just lying. 2. Yes, I am gay, I'm a lesbian. I've never dated a cis man, I never kissed a cis man, I've never done anything with any cis man ever in my entire life. Before I was trans, I was straight, and after, I'm a lesbian. So, yes, lesbian.
You have something to say?
Oh my God.
What's a demigirl? If you know, please tell me in the comments, because what is a demigirl?
You ever just look at someone and you know that they have mental health issues? And that's a dick lesbian. It's so funny how snowflakey the dude with the colorful hair gets, just so triggered and so
clearly upset. Clearly upset because this woman just doesn't want anything to do with it.
The only one who's getting mad is the dude with the colorful hair.
She's not even mad.
She finds this very humorous.
Yeah, she's like, am I wrong here? Am I wrong? Like,
no, like, anyone with
working eyes.
Yeah.
My mind are dysfunctional.
And I would have to say I have a theory.
Lay it on us.
That the dude with colorful hair transitioned into a woman because he couldn't get women as a man. I think that's what a lot of these people are doing. Just wait. It'll come out.
It's an easy way for people to be nicer to you, number one.
It's easier for you to be meaner to people.
It's easier for you to get away with things. It's like a get out of jail free card. I've said this before.
Get into a woman's jail free card.
Literally get out of jail free card. So, you know.
Now, I'm not saying that labels are wrong. But when you get the whole anatomy wrong...
Yes, I don't have bottom surgery. That's not getting the anatomy wrong. It's still a woman.
Bitch. So, in reality, okay, he is a gay man.
1, she. 2, if I was a gay man, I would like men.
Who likes to dress up as a woman.
You said trans, this, that, gay. She's only picking up what you're putting down. If you put on 18 different labels and they're like, well, that's one of them, and you're like, actually, no. It's confusing. It's disorienting. What are we supposed to do with that? I don't know what you are. What are you?
The thing nightmares are made out of.
Nightmares are made of this.
This isn't drag. This isn't for fun. I'm a woman and I'm a trans woman. The fact that you don't respect that is just rude.
No, you're a trans woman, non-binary, gay, demi something.
Demi girl. What's a demi girl? Yeah.
I never lectured any cis woman about being a woman.
What's a cis woman?
What are you doing right now, though? Like, what are you doing right now with this video? Not to be that person, but if you're not lecturing us cis woman, call me a fool.
I'm just, anytime they say cis woman, I'm just going to say, what? Cis woman. What?
You and me.
Cis woman. What? Cis, I can't hear you. Would you speak up? I can't hear you.
Identified as a woman.
Again, incorrect. I identify as a trans woman, non-binary / demi girl, and if you're in the LGBT, you should know what that means.
You should know what that means.
Not be a woman. Identified. So, let me go back to my question. Telling other women, what it actually is to be a woman.
Correct. I never told any woman how it is to be a woman. All I said is that trans women also get periods. That's it. And it's factually correct. Look it up. Do some research.
Go ahead.
I have done the research, honey. I've done the research. It's not a period. It's called Crohn's. You have the
And it's called being hormonal.
the hormones that you are currently on, sir. The side effects are Crohn's. We get menstruation cramps. We get the menstruation poos. They just get the okay. The hormones that they're on, the side effects is Crohn's. Understand me? So when someone is commenting on one of their TikToks while they're having their period cramps and go queen, yeah, it's really a woman. You slay. You're gonna get this. Yeah, you're awesome. I look up to you. They're saying this on a TikTok where the person is having cramps. Go queen.
Slay that.
Slay that. Wipe good. You got this. Spray after.
Because a period is when your uterus sheds its lining.
That's
And
the difference. They
hurts.
They get their period, which we all know is Crohn's. We get menstruation.
Where
The
your uterus is
menstrual
like
cycle. That's what we get.
Yeah, it's not
There's
good.
the difference. It's not just pooping.
No, there's blood in a period. Period.
Period.
They explain that you're going to lactate. They explain that you're going to get shorter, that your hands are going to shrink, that your feet are going to shrink. If you don't understand a base level of what's explained by doctors, professionals at the base 1 interview before you even get hormones,
Have you heard
what's
of
going on?
it's gynecomastia, I believe, male who develops boobs?
Oh.
That causes men to lactate.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that men have like nipples means that they are capable of lactating. Just because you take hormones that give you man boobs doesn't make you a chick. Like, come on now. What kind of sense does that make?
Also, majority of the doctors who promote this stuff and that these people go to see get kickbacks. They have invested interest in
You
moving
paying
these
them.
people along.
You paying them for the rest of your lives.
That's like $1 million something a person just in hormones. I mean, these people are cash cows to them.
Where do you think
So,
they make this money?
They don't care. And you can't sue them either. In some states, you're allowed to sue them now, but, you know.
Trans, gay, lesbian.
Trans non-binary, gay as in lesbian. I like how you're conflating the two.
Because he's in a relationship with a woman.
I'm not in a relationship with...
Hang on. I just caught something. Earlier, he said he's a trans girl, right? But he just said he's trans non-binary. Non-binary is supposed to mean that you don't align with either of them. But he said he was a girl. So when he said she earlier, he just negated everything. With their own argument, what are you? No wonder everyone's confused.
Well, I don't care how many people affirm this person. Everyone has eyes, and everyone can tell the difference between a fake and an original, the real thing. No man will date that, and no lesbian will date that, unless she's just telling this person what they want to hear, which is probably what they're doing because they're so sensitive, and they usually find people who will walk on eggshells around them in order to please them because they can't find anyone else who wants them. So it's kind of like the worst meets the worst, and then they date each other.
Have you ever like seen a Rolex next to a Timex? Because this is it's
kind of the same thing.
It's the same idea.
A busted Timex that you found on the street corner of 7th and Elm on a dead cat.
A cat?
That was on top of a homeless person.
I'm not in a relationship with anyone, actually. And I never said I was.
But telling us other women, look, I'm not trans, okay? I'm not trans. I'm just a woman. But if you're gonna be a trans woman, isn't this somewhat what you want to look like?
No. Personally, no. That is not how I want to look. I want to look like this.
Shout out to this chick, because like I saw this from their post, and I was like, this chick is slaying.
A woman? So for those of you who actually are understanding, you know, for people who are actually women, people who are trans women, and cis gay individuals who actually can identify a woman, right? Mind this, there's a difference between a drag queen and a trans woman.
Thank you for, saying that. Yes, there is definitely a difference between a drag queen and a trans woman. You're right. There is.
He's not drag. He's not drag.
Not drag.
Gay man who's in a relationship with a woman.
A gay man, or else I'd like men, and also not in a relationship again.
Have you ever been out somewhere and maybe you're like getting a coffee somewhere or whatever, and you see a person and you just know they smell. You just know they smell and that they have really bad breath. So let us know what you think of this content. What's your opinion? Do you think trans women are women? You're going to call us TERF?
This woman clearly does not disrespect trans women, because she sat there at the end and she was like, if you're a regular woman, a cis woman, a transgender woman who actually knows how to identify a woman, then you know what I'm saying. And so that's why I'm saying,
people have eyes. She's pretty much saying people have eyes and they know the difference between fake and real.
You seeing what I'm saying? I'm saying what I'm seeing. You're like,
Like, subscribe, hit that bell. You know what time it is. Do this. Let's
send me TikToks.
Send us some TikToks.
The podcast email is super simple. It's the panicbuttonpodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email, TikToks, videos, suggestions.
We have an Instagram too.
We do have Instagram now. We have TikTok.
We have a Rumble.
Rumble. We have
YouTube.
I think they found that.
Yeah.
We could get a Facebook page if people want that kind of thing.